Minion. Alright, let's get this draft overlay off here. And unmute my co-caster, lol. Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. We are awarded with this lovely bounty of Dota as well on this Friday. So Silent is not actually playing? Is that the case? This could be a stand-in. Someone dies while I'm doing this, guys. I don't know, flame me on Twitter about it. Never more in my life have I received. Yeah, so this actually is a stand-in. So Silent not here currently. Okay, interesting. But Navi clearly capable with him. They fared well this morning against Gambit Esports, who certainly isn't as strong as Vega, but it was in grand final format, so stakes were high. Navi decisively 2-0'd them. Didn't take it to a third game, so again, coming off high spirits here. And the early D word for G and crew as they get the sentry down. Hawk is there as well. Must have seen Crystallize walking back with Roger down in this direction, and we're able to scout it out. Radiant Ward in the mid lane. Gonna give them vision almost to the rune, but mostly to thwart any sort of rotation in. They really want to be able to dive this Zeus reliably. Bottom lane. Yes. Looks like Afterlife able to snag up the bounty rune, but General not top lane did grab this one, but will still end up being traded 2-2 as Roger grabs his all important IO bounty rune to grab up that early bottle, which will be coming out on the courier. Seneko has a sentry, contemplating where he wants to place it. None of these, this camp actually is blocked up by this observer ward. Sorry, didn't want to ping it out. Oh, and he guesses incorrectly. Does Seneko? Ward will survive for the time being. Nyx Assassin kind of shadowing this Skywrath Mage for the first little bit. Being a little bit of a nuisance. And a little bit of taunting going on. Why not? It's CIS Dota. Why do I have net worth up, guys? Why the fuck would I have net worth up? It's sub 1 minute. No one cares. G versus Dendi in the mid lane, and Roger will now join up as well. And G doing well. There's 6 last hits. That's all 6 on the first wave, and he will be able to shove it out. So that's one kind of pseudo defense mechanism that the Zeus does have in this mid lane, is that he can just constantly shove the wave under tower, force Dendi and Roger to be last sitting under their tower, and for that reason be unable to queue up the aggression. Seneko, one of the better heroes at dealing with the Beastmaster in the offlane, because he can nuke down the boar pretty easily from range. So mana burn skilled up though by Zayak, and he will kind of counter up that Skywrath Mage. 10-4 for Dendi to the 7-0 of G thus far, so hasn't been complete free sale for this Zeus just yet. And in the meantime, Roger is going to prepare some stacks already here, 2 minutes in. Going to be a triple stack nicely executed by the IO, and Dendi will very happily farm that a little bit later. Does get the range creep last hit there as well. Roger with a regen rune, so Dendi, feeling safe to just kind of spam out in the mid lane, take a little bit of damage. Alright, stand in. Zayak gonna look for the TP out. One more Arcane Bolt is not there. And that is a feels bad man as it travels slowly to the base. Don't ask me why I'm following this, guys. It just, fun. Looks a little choppy, doesn't it? It almost makes look like the screen. Oh, there you go. Take that. General has done a decent job soaking some experience here. Level 3 on the Earthshaker already. That's fantastic, all things considered. The Nyx has been elsewhere on the map, so really just an Oracle for him to worry about, and in that sense, not much at all. He doesn't have early boots, and neither does Aloha Dance. He has a Windlace. So for the most part, it feels like the Earthshaker's been safe. Warding up here is the Nyx Assassin. And Afterlife, nearly eclipsing that level 4 mark, has done well for himself on the Beastmaster. much like his laning counterpart, that Earthshaker. So the experience will go slightly the way of Vega, it seems, at the beginning, since there is a dual lane mid, and the offlaner doing a little bit better on the Vega side. Meanwhile, though, speaking of which, going for a kill was General, but it seems like Stioma will survive just fine. And they will force General out of lane. He does still have a Mango. Wants to kind of stick around for this Oracle kill. Needs the Aftershock to connect, and it doesn't. And now he's in trouble. But he keeps dragging Aloha out of the wave here. So, honestly, not the worst trade overall. Meanwhile, bottom rune bounty is going to go the way of the Nyx Assassin. Can they chase him down here, though? He is going to get the Impale off. It connects onto the Skywrath, but they have the Tether move speed. There's no Spike Carapace just yet. They need one more Arcane Bolt after this one to connect. The stick will be there. They need the Spirits from the IO to come through as well. One will connect. 2, 3, 4, 5. Just short for Roger. They have Tether move speed. Will they continue to chase forward? They are going to give it up. And an unfortunate set of circumstances there for the Navi tandem, support tandem. The Nyx Assassin just with enough stick charges to survive. Crystallize. Bottom lane actually level 4.5. So this Beastmaster in a 1v1 can do very well here. He's a lot of damage over time with the boars, and for that reason, Time Walk not all that effective. And addressing this issue, Navi will bring Seneko back down to lane. General picks up his 4th last hit of the game here, but he's got decent levels. I mean, he's not quite on the level of the Afterlife Beastmaster, but you know, had to exit lane a couple of times. Really went for that Oracle kill and unable to attain it, so that's going to cost him a bit. I think the biggest surprise of this early game is how well G's done mid lane. He hasn't been threatened at all. He's constantly pushed the wave out. He has 23 CS, which is pretty admirable considering he's facing up against, you know, almost entirely all game as dual lane. And, you know, it's just this over and over again, just constantly pushing in the wave, sitting behind his tower. He prepared any stacks? He has not been able to prepare stacks, so that would have been the absolute icing on the cake for Vega Squadron if he was able to do so, but not the case for now for G. Bendy combos up the wave, maybe going to push it back in response. Has 10 stick charges as well on the Tiny. Meanwhile, once again, standing for Vega, the Nyx Assassin, able to secure. Okay, Fish are going to miss because of the fog. As like jukes to the left and enchant totem. Yeah, kind of forgot about that stun. Nyx Assassin in a little bit of trouble. Will burn out all of Seneko's mana, but Seneko just really needs to body block him here, and he will do exactly that. Perfectly played by Seneko, but Impale comes back up with the magic stick charge, and now Fortune's End will fly out in the route for now. Nice Fisher block though by General. No exit path for Zayak, but he does have to back into the welcoming arms of his Huskar, and for that reason, Navi cannot chase any further. So, a lot of jockeying for position so far in this early game, but CIS Dota, no kills, 7 minutes in. Not all that often that you hear that. And, you know, really kind of hard to say who this benefits. At any time when you're playing a Huskar lineup and you get a good start, you're very content. But Navi have a bit of a tempo-based lineup as well. You know, once he picks up the full levels in the combo on the Tiny for Dendy, and the Wisp gets his level 6, they're going to get very scary. Looks like they just farmed up these stacks as well for Dendy, so he's level 7.5, Roger level 4.5. And soon enough, they will be ready to go. Nyx Assassin getting a little bit of time and space in the mid lane as the Zeus setting up bottom. Thunder God's Wrath and the Soul Ring at the ready. Level 2 Thunderbolt. It does have a good chunk of burst damage, and is the Primal Roar is available here. There is a Wisp behind the Void, but they can burst him down during this Primal Roar. And they do not have a relocate save here, it only being 8 minutes into the game. Someone get me a Bounty Rune snag stack, because this Nyx Assassin having the time of his life as far as roaming for bounty goes. And Roger, unfortunately, out of bottle charges here because of it. Just the one left. Dendy close to the Blink Dagger here, sub 10 minutes. Has Treads, Wand, and PMS, so certainly not a blind or naked Blink Dagger rush for him. Meanwhile, bot lane, they do get the Roar out, and they're going to go settle for Seneko. Feeling that Crystallize may be a bit of a harder kill. They have a Chronosphere available. It'll catch two. Now Dendy rolling through as well. He's got the combination. The Ava is there. Toss perfectly executed by Dendy. Crystallize will get the return kill onto the Beastmaster. So it will be a Skywrath Mage for a Beastmaster when all is said and done. General playing very safe in the top lane, knowing that the rest of his lineup is off elsewhere. And Seneko, only level 3 currently on this Skywrath Mage. 1 CS, 1 deny, lowest in the game alongside the Oracle, is going to, hopefully for his sake, find some time and space in this middle lane. So net worth, Dendy going to assume the top position now after that kill. And under the cover of smoke, with the armlet ready, trying to make a move is Aloha Dance. He'll find Seneko with ease. They'll kill him off. And it will be the Huskar to find the kill. Much needed kills for the Huskar in the early game. Oh, now mid lane, they go in. Oh, guys, missed a big kill. Forgiveness, please. I just got a tweet, and I got paranoid that the overlay was up or something. Looked at the tweet. It's maybe the most important kill of the early game. Scrubcaster. But anyways, that is a big one for Navi to attain. Dendy, the one to find the last hit there.
Is mine.
And since the pickup of his Blink Dagger, he has made 2 very nice rotations. Both with Roger, who now has that relocate available. General should be level 6 here, and is, and he'll make his way back up to the top lane. Just still trying to find a free lane to farm, knowing that now that the Huskar is missing, seeing that the Oracle is in lane, he's more than willing to do so. All right, Intervit popped up. Aloha Dance going to make the dive here. They get the Ancient Seal off onto the Beastmaster, but Seneko left for dead. Meanwhile, Dendy moves up to the top lane alongside General. They don't expend the Echo Slam, and they do kill off the Oracle. And now Dendy back towards the mid lane, where the tower is a bit low here. Bottom lane, Aloha Dance will get to work. On the tower. And Navi kind of seem intent to defend this, but just not there in time. Haste Rune up on Roger. He should be okay. Yep. He does dodge the Impale from the Nyx Assassin. And that'll be all she wrote for this engagement. General up top does pick up his level 7. And Dendy pushing in the mid lane will force out the Glyph. Now TP out from the Nyx Assassin mid. They get the Primal Roar off under Roger with the life break. It's an easy kill for the Huskar. Second kill. Actually, it ends up being an assist, so the 3rd kill he's involved in thus far. Alright, let's see what this tweet was about. The open mic, yes. That old chestnut. Give me a moment, good sir. I will get to it. Alright, they get the Ancient Seal off on the Nyx Assassin while he's under a sentry. They toss forward, they get the bash from Crystallize. Let's see what we can do, boys. Hopefully this catches a little bit more. I don't want to catch too much. I don't want you guys to hear me breathing, because that's kind of gross. Mid lane, they'll throw out a Thunderbolt and the life break. Dendy looking to turn, but he'll just toss back the Huskar. Gets off the overcharge to reduce most of that damage from the Thunder God's Wrath. And Roger, just to be safe, will take him back to lane. Now Crystallize rotating through mid lane. They have the Chronosphere available. The Hawk, though, it's scouting. And Vega are going to be well aware of this rotation. So no surprises there. Now they're going to look to find General, who's completely out of mana and out in no man's land. No mana's land? No man? No mana? Oh, wow. He's juking thus far, though. Is this enough time? No, it's not enough time for Navi to join, as they're not making a rotation up top lane. But it's kind of space created. As the mid lane, in the meantime, Dendy will take out the tier 1. So His death is not for, you know, absolutely nothing. However, Crystallizes rotation to the mid lane kind of feels like it was for naught. And he does pick up his Mask and Madness here. So not always going to rely on that Skywrath Mage being nearby. And Skywrath Mage is only level 5 here, 14 minutes in. Lowest in the game. Even the Oracle currently sitting on that False Promise.
Yes.
Death and gold are linked.
Smoke in the hands of the Oracle. Haste Rune. Now ready and waiting
Haste.
for Aloha. Gonna go with his Vendetta Nyx Assassin. And try to make a move towards mid. At the very least, they'll put some pressure into this tower general. Being stalked by the Nyx briefly. Nobody else really nearby as Roger, no wards in hand, makes a move just to try and give some information over to Dendi. And seeing that he won't find anyone, Navi are well aware that despite it being nighttime and only having this much vision, that the entire lineup of Vega is mid. No one defending top, no one defending bottom. So it looks like for now they'll be content to trade 2 towers for 1. And they will be able to do so now though. Vega into the Roche pit, going to disarm the Roche. And Aloha Dance will get to work. So Navi get 2 towers out of it. They lose 1 mid lane though, which is an important one. And they will lose the Roche as well. General though, he's got enough gold for his Blink Dagger. Was just scouted out by the Thunder God's Wrath. So maybe a bit of a false negative for Vega, thinking, okay, the Earthshaker, if they clicked on him, doesn't have Blink just yet. Sure, they could expect it around this juncture of the game, this timing of the game, but it could catch them by surprise here with the Blink Echo. They do have the Crystallized Faceless Void nearby, and Oracle, he is right behind Aloha Dance, and wisely, Navi not going to jump in right onto the Huskar. Blink away from General. He's going to pull the Huskar very deep. Now the Fisher comes out and he relocate forward. The toss actually doesn't go on the Huskar. Unfortunately for Dendi, Roger just a slight bit closer. Now they get the Chronosphere off. It's going to keep Slayer back, but he's in range now to get the False Promise off. And that's going to force Navi out and away. They will relocate away. Crystallize has a time walk in just a second. He takes the life break damage, will time walk most of it off. And does he make it out? He does not. He does. He does. I heard the kill happen elsewhere, which was the Zeus dropping, but Crystallize makes it away, so Neko's life more than worth it. And meanwhile, they find the Zeus bottom lane. So Navi with a good trade there. They get the Aegis, they get the Zeus kill, they get out on Crystallize, and overall, very content with that trade. Fan favorite team with a very nice sequence of events. The Huskar kind of relies on having this Aegis to continue, you know, forcing the issue and pressing forward, but he no longer does have that extra life. Roger with the TP out will make it away. Dendi similarly so. Makes his way up top lane, and now Afterlife could be a little bit exposed here. His boars are nearby, but they catch a glimpse of Dendi. Glendy is probably like Dendi's grandmother's name, you know? Her name was originally Glenda, but then, you know, the whole Dendi craze, so it's just Glendy now. G in a little bit of a precarious spot, instantly echoed up, but the Oracle not there in time. False Promise on cooldown, another 20 seconds. Snap decision from General, knowing he has his Skywrath nearby. Just enough time with that stun to get off that full duration Mystic Flare. And they find a big kill. That's G's second death in about 2 minutes. And that's a cause for concern, to say the least, for Vega. Afterlife in trouble. They do miss the Fisher, but the full tiny combo is there. Enchant Totem as well. Stick charges will not keep you safe for Afterlife. And Navi simply just moving better across the map these last couple minutes. Crystallize barely making it out to safety. Bottom lane has a chrono in 10 seconds here. And the relocate coming forward as well. Roger nearby. He's got Dendi with him. Jump forward. Ava toss. And they'll get the kill without even needing the chrono. Roger, the one with the spirit to pick up the last hit on that kill. And it is a big one. Now they'll relocate back right onto the Nyx top lane. General's nearby. and almost baited in that Earthshaker.
Money.
Crystallize has had some free time. And after missing the last chrono, does have, you know, a Shadow Amulet in addition to this Mask of Mana. So not only does it give him some attack damage and move speed, but most importantly, gives him the ability, to bypass the Hawk Vision and Shadow Blade into the fights. Jump forward under cover of smoke. They get the Primal Roar off onto Dendi. And Roger does not have the relocate available. Just trying to get the overcharge off, keep his core up. But he will die for this too, it seems. Tries to tether back to the wave. And actually Roger narrowly somehow escaping here. Has Arcane Boots and a Salve. Probably will wait to get extra value out of that to find another one of his allies. There is some dire vision here, however, so Roger needs to be careful not to hang around too long. And Huskar looking for it, potentially just trying to drag the wave back. Roger may just pay with his life here. Wisely so, he'll back off. Mid lane Seneko stalking alongside Crystallize and unable to find anyone. Any wayward kind of stragglers for Vega defending up this mid lane. G, you know, he's been fooled a couple times, I suppose, as far as getting picked off goes, and he will not be fooled again in this mid lane. Surprising to see, of the 4 supports on the map, that the IO is the most rich. We did see him get a couple of last hits recently, 2, 1, and 4, and often we see much less favorable KDAs for IOs, but interesting to see that. Now they're going to be flanked here. Zayat's rotating in. Dendi has a blink available. Can carapace on one of these spirits, and wisely Roger brings them in onto his person. Meanwhile, bottom lane, General and Seneko, again that combination is able to find the Zeus. Top lane, those Zayats looking to go in onto Dendi. They get the Urn Tick off first and the Primal Roar. Now they'll jump in, but the relocate save is there. Poor old noble Roger will likely feed his life over and will cancel the tether. Salute, Navi fans. He's going to attempt the TP back to base and is unsuccessful in doing so. Close, but no cigar for Roger. Meanwhile, bot lane, keeping in Zayats. Gets the Urn Tick onto General here. Mana Burn is there as well, so General, no real kill potential. And now rotating in is G. He's got a lot of damage here for this Earthshaker. As the Bolt was used, though, maybe looks for a TP out, but now the Bolt cooling down once again, and General, he is simply going to accept his fate. Meanwhile, though, Dendi looking for the Huskar here. Crystallize jumps forward. They get the Ancient Seal off. They will chrono him up. And with Slayer nearby, oh, they can't leave Dendi here, though. Now he's been rooted up. Huskar will survive, almost to full health OS Frog. And they'll burst Dendi for it as well. Not exactly the target you want. I mean, Navi going in here knowing that 2 heroes were occupied in this, you know, area of the map. But all it takes is for this Sioma Oracle to be nearby. And the Huskar becomes nigh unkillable. Navi, with an excellent start to the game, have tapered off a bit, and Vega drawing the net worth back down towards equilibrium. You see that spike there after the last fight, and it pretty much is equilibrium. Less than a 1k lead for Vega here. So it's even past even towards Vega's side, according to the updater. Right about even right now. 2,000 experience lead for Navi. But the last couple of minutes have certainly been Vega favored. Mid lane Crystallize. Smells something's up. Takes it up to the high ground. No Chronosphere available. And a lot of deep vision for this dire side that has yet to be denied in all the lanes. They have the Hawk as well to kind of traverse in between the lanes. Meanwhile, top lane, Noobcaster missing a fight. Roger in a lot of trouble. Fisher is there, but it doesn't connect on anyone. And they'll burst down the IO before that second bolt comes through. Now jump forward. Primal Roar going for a solo kill is Afterlife. He will get it, but can he get out is the question. Crystallize. Time dilation is there. Can't find him. Boar slow. Will slow down the Void, and he had no chrono available there. So for the first long while, it was Navi moving better than Vega. But for the last little bit, with all this vision available to them, it feels as if Vega has moved a bit better than Navi. This will be the first ward in a while that should get denied up, as they did see the Slayer Oracle walk up the hill, but...
Running with the pack.
It's kind of been the same storyline for every tiny lineup that we've seen thus far in these ESL 1 HamBurg qualifiers, is that he hits that early blink timing and starts to become an absolute menace across the map. But it's not long before teams adapt to his playstyle, get up vision, are tanky enough to survive the initial combo. And especially when you have an Oracle behind you, all you need to do is survive that initial combo. So Tiny just becomes less and less effective despite, you know, having all this net worth to his name. Does go for the Ags though, Dendy does, so he's going to scale a bit better, help push out waves, hit buildings as well. So a little more carry-oriented build rather than, you know, full-on gank-oriented with the IO. And he does have an Echo Saber on top of this, so certainly a lot of farm for Dendy here. And look at this tower just absolutely shatter bottom lane. Thunder God's Wrath helping cover this Roshan attempt, and Vega will secure it. Dendy gets a tier 2 for his troubles in the bottom lane. That is cheese as well, guys. Keep in mind, second Rosh of the game. Dendy gonna just poke at this tower top lane or think about it, but as he sees Aloha Dance, will back out with Roger. Meanwhile, relocate, jumping on top of 2. General queuing up the Fisher, keeps it for the time being. Mystic Flare goes out onto the Zeus, but a nice impale from the Nyx keeps Crystallize from right-clicking. They still end up getting the Zeus, and they force Slayer to use the False Promise on himself. That Oracle more than likely to die here soon. They get the bash off on the Nyx Assassin. Oracle does pop, despite the Shrine there. And Afterlife too late to the fray. Navi, they find their opening the moment Huskar shows top lane. They relocate on top where General is. Despite there being an active Shrine there, they fight knowing that there's a lack of damage for Vega without the Huskar. And they take a decisive team fight victory.
Time is money.
Double damage.
So Navi back with a good foothold in this game. There is, though, still an Aegis on the Huskar. And mid lane, it looks like they're looking to force that issue with the Aegis. So Nako could be in a little bit of trouble here. They have the Hawk looking to scout nearby. It is daytime as well. And now top lane. Nyx Assassin looking for something, but the sentry there allows them to echo him up. Dendy getting to work on the tower now. Is this enough to force back the lineup of Vega? For now, we will see Aloha Dance beating on the tower. Double damage rune in hand. And actually just expires. And Dendy, with his Aghanims, makes quicker work of this tier 2 top lane than does Vega. But they end up trading here. Again, Roger ready to relocate, save Dendy. As the Primal Roar coming through. Nicely played by the Beastmaster. He gets onto the backlines, but a beautiful Yule Scepter from General keeps them from killing off Roger. And that almost works out better for Navi, because Roger would have had to save Dendy and then come back into the fray and die. Or doing so. Oh, now Slayer in trouble. He's going to get tossed up. 2 right clicks are there. The disarm from Slayer. He's going to be forced to cast a false promise on himself. Meanwhile, General beating into Afterlife, and Slayer more than likely to fall here. One more right click from Dendy. The toss will do the job. Afterlife's going to fall thereafter. Navi playing beautifully in the top lane. General there in the nick of time to save his IO with that Yule Scepter. What a play from General. And now 2 heroes on the sideline. There still is an Aegis, though. So Navi, for now, respecting that fact. They bring in Crystallize, though. And they do not have detection on their person among these heroes. So Zayat's looking to find an opening on the Roger Wisp, but he will join up with Dendi once again, which will make it a lot more difficult to kill him. And Navi, they'll be content with those 2 kills for now. Making a move into their own jungle is the dire side. They'll do a little bit of dewarding with G. Meanwhile, Crystallize up to the high ground. Ancient Seal off onto the Huskar. They don't want to turn and fight into him. Not only does he have BKB, but he's got Aegis and Cheese. And now a TP bottom lane. General in trouble is going to get roared up. They bring in the Nimbus Cloud as well. Crystallize forced to get his way out. Meanwhile, ratting away, though, are Dendi and Roger. They get the tier 3 top lane. And again, we saw it minute 5 into the game. General's death is not for nothing. Relocate out. Down to the bottom lane. Looking to find something is Roger alongside Crystallize. Let's get his Shadow Blade off. He used Chrono, however, already. Concussive Shot will connect. Onto Afterlife. They will seal him up and go for more. The Huskar is top lane, killing off the Wisp. And G actually gets Dendi as well, who relocated back with the Wisp top lane. I don't think that was intentional. But unfortunately, I didn't see it. I didn't expect them to bring Dendi back, guys, and that's why I wasn't looking at the Wisp. I was assuming that Dendi would chase forward with the Void and the Skywrath, but brought back to top lane nonetheless, and that is a big kill to go down for Navi. Where's my team fight recap? Dota? Valve? Did I miss it, guys? I must have missed it. You fool! Anyways, trust me, it's a big kill for Dendi to drop there. He is the most valuable being on the map.
Illusion.
And maybe you could argue Roche is more valuable. I don't know. Scan, though, for Crystallize is going to find Afterlife. He has his Hawk, so he feels safer than he actually is. Seneko flies through with the Concussive Shot, and Fisher will ensure he can't TP out. Mystic Flare will ensure he can't survive. Afterlife picked off bottom lane. Meanwhile, top lane, they get the Carapace off onto the Spirits. Roger in trouble. He's going to drop, as will the tier 2 here. 48 seconds with no Wisp. Maybe they poke at this tower here, but there's no Beastmaster as well, so... And there is a Chrono available in 15 seconds. Vega should be roughly aware of that timer. General going to get scouted by this Dire Ward here. And looking for blood. He's not going to find it. Still scouted out there. Meanwhile, Dendi's going to be found out bottom lane. He has a BKB if he absolutely needs to pocket. And he does. He is going to BKB and TP to the middle lane. That does not feel great. Meanwhile, though, top lane, Chronosphere is going to find the Zeus for G. Unfortunately, though, Crystallize not the perfectly placed Chronosphere. Jump forward. Echo Slam is going to come out. They're going to try and bring down G. It's just shy for General. Meanwhile, Zayas brings down Seneko bottom lane. And General, he's going to be emphatically taken out. Top lane, they get the melee racks, and this is the tiny IO shenanigans we're used to seeing from the Navi squad. There is no answer for that, and they'll make it back down to their base. G actually TPs out, knowing that the relocate is now down to the bottom lane, trying to force a buyback here. Crystallize, under the cover of Shadowblade, maybe looks to go for the Zeus, but Navi are more than happy with this last little bit of last few events. Never fun as a solo caster to cast an IO game. Camera all over the map. Goes for the 0.5 second lightning bolt mini stun, and it makes more sense with the Nimbus than without the Nimbus, but I've always kind of seen this as a meme. It allows him to do more from distance than with the arc lightning damage, and you know there is a BKB on the Faceless Void. Perhaps you're able to stop a tether in relocate save with that mini stun. That would be a huge play. So definitely don't hate the decision here. It's also very good against Earthshaker. Much like a Clockwork. Oh my goodness. Zayats, the poor lad, jumps right into a Fisher. And there's the Nimbus Cloud. They will be able to take it out, though, quickly. General still barely surviving. And G up to the high ground. Did he make a mistake here? He's in a lot of trouble, and he will simply suicide. Chronosphere catches 2 from Crystallize, and nobody from the Navi side is caught in the Chrono. Perfectly placed from Crystallize. They will look to chase down Aloha Dance. No Aegis, no Cheese in hand. He's going to do a lot of damage before going down. Echo Slam going to fly through, and a toss-up brings down the Huskar. Big stun on the backside from Zayas. Meanwhile, General and Soneko will take out Slayer. Crystallize 1 second until Time Walk. He has a Time Walk, but just needs to wait for this Mask of Madness to expire. And there it is. General with the double kill on the Earthshaker. Perfect Chronosphere from Crystallize. Bit of an odd decision from G to get... I don't know how he got up to the high ground there. He has no Force Staff, no Blink Dagger. Was he maybe forced by... I don't know. There are no Force Staffs. Maybe he just walked uphill. I actually have no idea. He could have been... Maybe tried to... Afterlife tried to force him defensively and instead forced him up the hill. Interesting, but either way, 3 heroes down, no buybacks for Vega. 1 lane of racks already missing. This is going to be tier 3 minimum. And with the tiny overcharge, it's probably a full lane. Indeed it is. Jump forward. Dendi with the blink. Trying to find Afterlife here. Needs another couple right clicks. The boar slow is there, though. Dendi having to work on the boars who are healed up by the shrine. Meanwhile, his team, though, working on the racks. His General in a little bit of trouble here. Afterlife getting very low. General gets the blink out in the nick of time, and G cannot find him under the cover of invisibility. Dendi kind of out by his lonesome here, trying to give Roger a tether target, and he does with the blink away. What a play by Dendi, pulling his Wisp further. Zayas trying to find the double impale, and he does on the Nyx Assassin. They will get Roger out of this at least. Dendi has no TP, but he does have BKB. Can BKB and then blink away? Yeah, and that's exactly what he'll do. Nicely played by Dendi. Good patience there.
Death and gold are linked.
So they lose Roger. They get a little less than they wanted to because Dendi goes in on Afterlife and the Shrine keeps him up. They could have got this range racks for sure, but they have the 2 melees, so not the biggest deal. Meanwhile, General just doing general things. Echo Slam used. And finishes off the IO. Meanwhile, they get Slayer. Everyone is just dying. What the hell is going on? Glitter Cape Soneko in trouble. But still, 3 heroes dead right now for Vega's side. And Soneko is a more than worthwhile trade. Creeps working on these intermediary structures will take them down. Tier 4 is exposed there on the top side of the map. And Navi completely controlling this one. Can go for this Shrine if they want to play it a little bit safe. They'll wait for Roger for now. And look to maybe force one of these buybacks. Yeah, they are going to ping that Shrine out. Dendi mid lane has an Arcane Rune. Maybe want to use that BKB in the duration of the Arcane Rune. Crystallize. Working on a BKB, it seems, rather than the Diffusal he originally wanted. Dendi going to use his combo. Maybe this is an opening here. They'd like to go in on him, and they do a lot of damage. He will pop up the BKB, however. Overcharges there. Afterlife jumping forward. Looking for more. 3-man Chrono from Crystallize, but it is just one that will sound the retreat for Navi. Beautifully placed by Crystallize. Will keep Dendi alive for the time being, and Creeps working on the base in the meantime. Forcing G back and out. Roger and Dendi will take out the Shrine. And General nearby does not see the Wisp just yet. It does look like Vega are willing to fight this. Jump forward from Afterlife, blink away from Dendi. And just a little bit of the fog of war there, perhaps, stopping Afterlife from going in. General now top lane, looking for the Zeus. He has a Blink Echo. No units nearby G just yet, though. And now the units will spawn and they will see General. Fisher from range will connect. Meanwhile, Vega making what you might call a desperation play, but I could call it smart here. There is no Chronosphere, and that's why you don't see Navi fighting. And they will just concede this Aegis and Cheese.
Immortality.
Still, though, Navi in a good position in this one. 2 lanes of racks up. G is kind of just forced to chill in base forever on this Zeus to deal with the impending pushing waves. Now, nice Thunder God's Wrath going to cancel the blink from Dendy. Nimbus Cloud comes out as well. The Primal Roar is there, but he gets the BKB off, and he can turn this one. He'll drop the Avatos onto Afterlife. And one right click is there. Big Echo Slam on the backside from General, but he can't kill anyone off. And Dendy, a little bit low at this point, will get pulled out by Roger, or in, should I say, to the base, that is. He will go in on the range racks, looking for Megas here. Does not have BKB, but does not matter. Gets the racks down. And a pull back out to the mid lane for Dendy and Roger. Crystallize has a Chronosphere available. Slayer under the cover of the False Promise. They will lose Roger. Huskar has the Aegis, so they don't want to commit the Chrono on him. And literally, all they will give up is a Wisp and an Earthshaker. Or Mega Creeps, essentially. Navi playing very well in this first game, as they have all day today. 24 to 24 is the kill score, but that does not tell the story of this one. It has been the Roger Dendy General show. And certainly, you know, Soneko and Crystallize have not made any major mishaps or have been at the right place at the right time, doing enough for their squad, but the movement from that trio of heroes, you know, General setting up, the relocates in from Roger and Dendy, and just the shot calling in general. Maybe you put some of that on Soneko. Has been very much on point for Navi. Looks like the death ball with the Aegis and Cheese coming for Vega here. Maybe a last-ditch effort. General going to jump forward. Toss back onto the Huskar. He's nearby the Nyx assassin. Nyx is going to get silenced up. Carapace is there. Nice Chrono catches the Oracle. They need to bring the Huskar down, but he pops Satanic. He will be up in the air. The Oracle comes out just in time to get the Huskar to be doing his damage here under the False Promise. He most likely will pop, but he does have Aegis and does a lot of damage in the meantime. General relocated back into position. The toss forward. Echo Slam is there, but the BKB is there from the Huskar to dodge. And now he'll jump forward onto Dendy. Buyback comes out from Soneko. Now Aloha Dance in trouble. They get the bash with Crystallize. Diffusal Blade charge is there. Huskar is down. 2 right clicks, and the toss is there onto Slayer. He'll be dropped. G in trouble now. Soneko chasing forward. When you're 5 position effectively, this game is chasing your mid laner, who denies himself. Not a good sign for Vega. And that is going to be the resounding team fight victory at the end of the game for Navi, who take game 1 in this CIS Classic. Navi versus Vega Squadron. Hope you guys enjoyed that cast. I will have a co-caster for game 2, I promise. And this one going to continue to get underway.